yourself, how I had a job, quit a job, but you didn't tell us anything, you just glossed over that so fast that I didn't feel like I got a connection with you, didn't get to know you in that. I want to know you. I want to know why you wrote this book. Now, you had said you felt that your purpose here is to sell a book and sell yourself as a speaker. You could tell us a little bit more about what's in the book. And then there was a complete disconnect, I thought, where you were talking about the book and then you suddenly went into achieving goals. And I was thinking, what? Weren't we in the middle of a story a second? You really lost me. I mean, I completely was confused and going, what goals? What? Are you suddenly trying to talk to a business audience and a moment ago you were talking to a more general audience? What happened there? I felt a real true disconnect there. Now, if the purpose of this, when you go out to a business audience and you say this book is about creating a legacy, your company needs to create a legacy, you as a leader want to create a legacy, and then you want to talk about their legacy, you want to bring it home to them. Do you want to build a company? Do you want to build an empire? What are you doing here? If you're going to do that, bring it to them. Don't just kind of gloss over it and go buy it, okay? There's that. And then, if you're selling your book, how much is it? Do you have a special offer for us today? Because we're just sitting here, is it normally $35, but just because we're here, you're going to give it to us for $29.99? What is it? So I want you to get more comfortable with talking about the money, because I can tell that you're not quite comfortable with the money, and that's natural from the environment that you came in, that you came from. May I say what you were? Robert was an attorney, and he was not the kind of ambulance-chasing attorney. That he actually worked for the Jefferson County government, and so he was not billing his hours out and chasing after people. He was more the attorney that doesn't have to chase for the business. But the book, you have to chase for the business. Mm-hmm. Very different. Good point. Mm-hmm. And so you're not used to that, and you're not comfortable with that yet, but you're going to get more comfortable with that. And I think you should, whenever you speak, hold up your book, make sure there's a copy of your business card in the book, and let people know. And I would always give people a special offer. Offer to sign the book, too. Let them know, hey, if you want, I'll autograph it for you. People almost always want you to autograph the book. They love that. And so I would say overall, Robert, the other thing, you didn't market yourself as a speaker either. You didn't say, by the way, I'm a keynote speaker and I'm available. You could say that. There are plenty of places where you may not if it's a paid speech, but if you're going out and selling your book and promoting your book, there's no reason why you can't say, by the way, I would love your referrals for speeches. However, the speech you gave today, I don't think they would refer you on that because it wasn't compelling enough for us. When you have this speech where it's up here and we're just hanging on the edges of our seats, and then you say, I'm a speaker, I guarantee people will be coming up to you and saying, could you speak for our group? Could you speak for our group? I'd really like you to figure out a way to make a stronger connection between the story in the book, the legacy, the father, the son, and yourself, and then a stronger connection between that story and those of us in the audience. Because there's got to be something in that for me. There are books we read simply for entertainment. I know you, and I know you didn't write this just for that. This has a message in it, and it means something to you. So we need to know what that is, and we're hungry for that meaning. Every single one of us wants meaning like that. And we really are looking to you for that. And what I think you did today was kind of gloss over and generalize. You gave us a beautiful story about those cats at the beginning and the end. And I love that story. You know I love that story. But I'm not sure that story is really the right bookends for this particular presentation. Another thing, too, I liked when you did the part that you say when you're a child, and do you remember when you spun around and you could fly? That is also another possible opening for the speech. If you just leave out the cats, leave out the Pennsylvania and all that, you could actually start right there. You could fly and spin around and then talk about Icarus. I may have seen you do that before, as a matter of fact, but I think that all of that other stuff is taken away from the story. Remember, you're here to sell your book. You're here to this is the purpose. This isn't to entertain us and just have fun. You're here to sell a book, and you're here to sell yourself as a speaker. So let's go ahead and focus a little bit more on that the next time, and I think you'll really do well. Do you feel that too, that you're going to get more comfortable with that? Okay. Rich, do you have anything to add?
Every time I hear you speak, Robert, I always feel like I'm hearing Orson Welles read Ray Bradbury. It's wonderful. Always the strong point of hearing you speak. So I want you to keep that fresh in your mind, that those skills are so strong. I think we've seen a balance here between Mark, who is very function-oriented, who I then advise to be more form-oriented. You're very form-oriented and need to be more function-oriented. You've got these three major competing stories, as Joan pointed out, between the dairy, the Icarus, and Daedalus. Icarus, Daedalus, and the farm, basically. But one of the things I picked out, when you talk about Daedalus, you started saying this was the most important thing. Well, if he's the most important thing, then make that the most important story. Make that what the speech is about, because it's Daedalus and the legacy he's trying to create. There's a book called The Real Story of the Three Little Pigs that tells it from the wolf's point of view. We'll tell this story solely from Daedalus's point of view, and then bring that in to the importance of legacy, and then maybe bridge into the dairy. Then when it comes down to selling your book, you told us if you like this story, buy this book. Because there are more great stories in here that will inspire me to build a legacy. Keep going, reel me in. Okay, I like your stories, there's more, but why? But yeah, focus in on what's important. And I think that Daedalus could be the hook that you really want it to be, because I can feel that's what you think is really important.
You had made the one comment where you said, you had just sort of toward the end, you said, and I'm building my own legacy. I quit this job and I've written this book. That's your opportunity to promote yourself and connect yourself in that moment to Daedalus. So find a way to make yourself, these are the wings that I'm building for my life going forward. And I would also mention your website. You can say that, say your name again. When you're selling your book, say your name again, say your website. And don't be shy about it, because really all of us want to read this book, and when you're shy about it, we just don't know about it. In fact, I would guarantee that there were several people in the room this morning that did not even know that you wrote a book, who know you, and don't know that you have that book out. Let's promote a lot more Robert Case. Okay? All right, thank you.